Good morning to all of you. Dear students, today we will start a new chapter, Civilizing the Native, Educating the Nation. So, basically, in this chapter, we will read in the British period how the people were taking education and how the civilizing and the native education of the nation. So, in the earlier chapters, you have seen how British rule affected Rajas and Nawabs, peasants and tribals. In this chapter, we will try and understand what implication it had for the lives of students, for the British in India wanted not only territorial conquest and control over revenues. They also felt that they had a cultural mission. They had to civilize the natives, change their customs and values. So basically, there is a big thinking about uh, the education. If you will see this education which we are reading today, it has come from the Britishers. So Britishers in India, they have not a territorial conquest and control over revenues. They have cultural mission also. So what changes were to be introduced? How are Indian to be educated, civilized, and made into what the British believed were good subjects. The British could find no simple answers to these questions. They continued to be debate for many decades. Okay, so we will see key what the main issue at that time for the education. How the British saw education. Let us look at what the British thought and did, and how some of the ideas of education that we now take for granted evolved in the last 200 years. In the process of this inquiry, we will also see how Indians reacted to British ideas and how they developed their own views about how Indians were to be educated. So basically, in the earliest, if you will see in 1600, 1700 of the medieval period, in a Mughal medieval period, and after you will see that the British period. Okay, so there are many changes. Okay, so there are many changes are education policy, because when the Britishers came in India, and when they occupy the main resources like revenue and many states, okay, or territories also. So basically, they conquest the uh, territories of our India. Okay, that time that is not India. That the India is divided in many parts. Okay, so basically the nationalism has not seen at that time. Got it, and we will see what the tradition of Orientalism. So what is the main education policy before the Britishers time and in the period of British time? Okay, so in 1783, a person named William Jones, please remember it one, a name William Jones, okay, arrived in Calcutta. He had an appointment as a junior judge at the Supreme Court that the company had set up. Okay, so you know about the 1773. There is a regulating act. There is a regulating act which uh, the court has set up in 1774 in Calcutta. And in addition to being an expert in law, Jones was a linguist. Okay, so Jones क्या थे? That he was a linguist. Linguist, it means someone who knows and studies several languages. Okay, so that we call linguist. So he had studied Greek and Latin at Oxford, knew French and English, had picked up Arabic from a friend. Okay, so he was learned many languages. So basically, when he was saw he he learned from the language that person. So he were what going to be to learn these languages. So had picked up Arabic from a friend and had also learned Persian at Calcutta. Okay. He began spending many hours a day with pandits who taught him the subtitle of Sanskrit language, grammar and poetry. Soon he was studying ancient Indian texts on law, psychology, religion, politics, morality, arithmetic, medicine, and the other sciences. So basically, we will see that that the William Jones, this is a person who learned many languages, and second thing, because he was known as a linguist. So linguist is the main, कि who learn many languages. So basically this is what कि वो बहुत सारी philosophy, religion, politics, morality, arithmetic, medicine and the other sciences. Okay. Jones discovered that his interest was shared by many British officials living in Calcutta at that time. Englishmen like Henry Thomas Colebrook and Nathaniel Held were also busy discovering the ancient Indian heritage, mastering Indian language, and translating Sanskrit and Persian works into English. So there are also two men Henry Thomas Coldbrook and Nathaniel Halhed were also busy discovering the ancient Indian heritage. Okay, so together with them, Jones set up the Asiatic Society of Bengal and started a journal called Asiatic Research. So इन सब के साथ मिलके they were set up a Asiatic Society of Bengal and started a journal called Asiatic Researches. Got it? So this is what? This is the Jones head and Hellhead and Thomas Colbrook. They were all threes, which is set up the Asiatic Society of Bengal and started a journal called Asiatic Research. Got it? Jones and Colebrook came to represent a particular attitude towards India. So basically, they were thinkers. Okay, so they have a particular attitudes towards India. Okay, so what the attitude towards India we will read. They shared a deep respect for ancient cultures, both of India and the West. Okay, so basically they respect deep respect उनके पास and both of India and West. So basically he was the person जो रिस्पेक्ट करता है था एंशियंट कल्चर्स को और वेस्टर्न कल्चर्स को एज वेल एज so Indian civilization they felt that attained its glory in the ancient past but had subsequently declined. In order to understand India, it was necessary to discover the sacred and legal texts that were produced in the ancient period, for only those texts could reveal the real ideas and laws of the Hindus and Muslims, and only a few new study of these texts could form the basis of future development in India. So basically, we will see कि ancient periods that there are many texts who are educating the nation and as well as the world also. So basically, Hindu or Muslims, there are many laws, and only a new study of these texts could form the basis of future development in India. Okay, so this is the particular thinking of that Jones and Coolidge about India. Okay, so goodbye. Have a good day to all of you.